Namaste. I'm Vivek Govekar, and welcome to the podcast. That was Zen. This is Tao. I'd like to discuss a few things about what I'd like to accomplish with this podcast. So far, I've created 7 episodes. This is the 8th one. And I was going through all the episodes and trying to figure out what theme emerges out of all of what I've said so far and what I can add to that. Obviously, this is about my kundalini process, about a kundalini awakening. And if you watched the earlier episode, I have gone through a systematic description of what the chakras are, what the kundalini energy is, what it does when it awakens. I'd like to speak a little bit about 2 things. One, what people who are going through a practice of kundalini yoga with the hopes of awakening a kundalini, some of the guidelines that I'd like to give to them based on my experience so far, and some help for people who are actually going through a kundalini process, and especially someone like me who had no knowledge, no background, and was just thrown into this because of a spontaneous awakening. This happens quite often these days. In the past, all the knowledge related to kundalini was kept very secret. So you had to go through a process of apprenticeship, learn yoga through a guru, and have his blessings, perform the exercises, perform the breathing techniques, perform meditation for many, many years. And then you were given the secret to the kundalini, or it awakened in you with the help of a guru. What has happened these days, especially since the advent of the internet and so many books that people can read and so much interest in practices like yoga, people are exposed to a lot of things, maybe mantras that are being recited, music, certain kinds of music, and all these practices, like someone performing yoga, not necessarily knowing much about the kundalini process, just doing it for fitness. And you go through a spontaneous kundalini awakening. So I'd like to address both of those things. First and foremost, for people that perform kundalini yoga on a regular basis, I'd like to say this. Through my experience, I have realized you need to perform 3 things together. One is a physical practice of getting your body ready. So when the kriyas begin, you want your body to be as fit as possible. You don't need to master every single pose or be the best yogi you can in the physical sense. But you do need to have a limber body that is fit and able to perform contortions if required. The meditation is important because it knows how to assimilate thoughts, it knows how to focus, it knows how to concentrate. So when your process goes into high gear and you're faced with a lot of traumatic emotions, you need an ability to still the mind and bring it into meditation. And know that whatever is being churned up by the energy is just thoughts from the past. You're not reliving that episode. These are just thoughts to be witnessed and discarded. The breathing practices are extremely important for the same reason, is the blockages are resolved and discarded from the body much more efficiently if your practice of pranayama or yogic breathing, such as alternate nostril breathing from this nostril, breathing out from this one, then breathing in here, breathing out this way. This circulates prana, or the vital energy, in a more efficient manner through all the nadis, and your experience of the energy moving through the chakras is a smoother, better one. So you need these 3 aspects. In addition to that, if you read the classic texts of Ashtanga Yoga, they talk about different things. They talk about chastity and retention of your vital fluids, not being overtly sexual, not thinking bad thoughts, not thinking impure thoughts in relation to other people, like gossip or spreading rumors, or how you behave. It all creates a karmic rebound. So it is not just performing the poses, it's not just performing the breathing practices or meditation, it is also your behavior in the outside world. Because as you will discover, after an awakening, there is no outside world or inside world. Those are just apparent to us. There is oneness. We are all part of one energy continuum. But we think of it as the outside world and the inside world. But your actions on the outside reflect on how you will feel on the inside. Your actions, thoughts, how much of the mental agitation that you're feeling and how much, say you're irritated and you act out, that is going to impact something that you do, and your process will be impeded by that outward karmic give and take that you have created now. So it is very essential to not be caught up in a lot of activity that might create a harmful environment, and then you won't be able to practice in a peaceful manner. So those things are important. Besides just what is prescribed in the yogic practices, your actions are important. So pay attention to that, and gradually, it doesn't have to be anything harsh or disciplinary, or you don't have to repress anything. Repression just creates rebound. So if you repress something, you're just saving all of that energy to do that thing, whatever it was you're repressing later on. So if you're staying away from, say, drinking alcohol, and you're like, oh no, I'm not going to drink, or I'm not going to party, it's going to happen. You're just repressing it because you crave that. The ideal way to deal with it is to deal with the craving, investigate it, and know why you crave it, why you crave that, the necessity for that thing, whatever it is. Mindful awareness helps with that. So all of this change in your life, your behavior, and transformation within yourself, and the transformation that you yourself willingly decide to undertake, will help you with the kundalini process once the energy awakens. What about people who have already had an energy awakening and are bewildered by what's going on? First and foremost, you need to realize that you need a calming practice. You cannot have your emotions running wild. If you need help from someone, you need to find people and tell them, however bizarre it sounds, because a lot of stuff is going to be completely out of the realm of any experience that anybody else has had and anything that you have experienced, unless you have a guru and you have a specific school that you go to and they know about the kundalini process and you've been going through it in a systematic way. Then it's much smoother that way. But for people that have been going through it spontaneously, a lot of calming supplements and vitamins that you take, a lot of antioxidants will help you. There's a wonderful website called The Biology of Kundalini. It's biologyofkundalini.com. That website helped me out a lot with practices of how to calm yourself down, what supplements to take, what this process is, and it describes it in detail and how to go about in the first 2 or 3 years when you really need it. So when the energy starts its work, all you need to remember is you need to be a witness of whatever that is churned up. You need to keep the mind centered, start meditating as much as possible, start doing yoga. If you weren't doing it previously and now the energy is making you contort in different ways, it's passing through your spine, better get physically fit as much as you can and allow the energy to go through your body easily. So that is important. And breathing practices, which are pranayama, just what I described with the alternate nostril breathing. Any education that you can get from an enlightened master, a guru, a yogi, is always going to be helpful. But finding that, especially in the Western world, or in places where that tradition is not very popular, or people don't know much about it, is going to be difficult. So sometimes you have to be your own guru. You have to do these practices by trial and error. It's always important to remember that nothing the energy is doing is bad for you. It is going through some steps required for cleansing to make you a better person. So however scary that experience feels, and mentally the projections, the images that you see, they're just that, they're just in your mind. And if you keep yourself grounded, and if you find a practice, a suitable practice of meditation or some kind of chanting or praying, find a group of people that are involved in those practices, it will be very helpful. It will always help you to be as calm as possible and calm yourself down throughout the process. I would not recommend taking medication, like medicines like antidepressants or any kind of sedatives that will dull the energy and will make it more difficult. So you need to be very careful not to take them excessively. If you absolutely have to have them while you're going through the process, sure. But it's best not to have anything interfere with the process and allow it to go smoothly. The energy is going to make you healthier. So if you had any previous problems, the energy is most likely going to clear them up if they are curable. If not, it's still going to make you a healthier person, a better person. So work with the energy. Meditation is important, physical fitness is important, and finding out more and more from different literature and what works best for your process, what works. Everyone's process is different. So what works best for me may not be exactly what works best for somebody else. But by and large, it is a process of going inwards, going within, and achieving stillness and going towards your higher self. So good luck on your journey, and I hope this was helpful. Thank you very much for listening. My name is Vivek Govekar. Again, feel free to leave comments. I'd love to hear from you. Namaste.